With the Vertical Slice 2 update being just around the corner for Space Engineers 2, coming on December 1st, make sure to tune into the dev stream, Keen has given me the opportunity to show off the brand new blocks coming with this update, alongside the added functionality to some of the older blocks. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Now I've divided this into two sections, with one being the brand new blocks coming this update, and then the ones that have gotten added functionality. So, let's just quickly start with what is brand new. And so we'll start off on the end here with the survival kit. Previously, we only had the medical room, which is actually right over there. But now we have the trusty old survival kit, and I have to say, it looks absolutely fantastic. I mean, just the buttons and everything. Register? Okay, it does nothing at the moment, but the fact that that button is there is pretty darn cool. We got some O2 marks and H2, and then the graph. That is just brilliant. And then with the markings on the side, caution, maintenance required. What does that say? Service panel, something. It's a service panel. Just the stickers and everything, the textures. It looks fantastic. Now, obviously, we want to know what the conveying is like, so we'll have two smaller ports, one on either side, and then one big port on the top. And then if I get my spectator camera over, where am I? There I am. We can see here on the bottom we have a large port as well. So it'll work similarly to as it does in SE1, where you can walk up to the panel, hold F to heal, recharge, and refuel, and it'll also act as a respawn. But moving on from the survival kit, we get one of the brand new crafting stations, which is the smelter. And I have to say, just that I am in awe. My first reaction video had a lack of words, and I fear this video might be the same. Because I'm just looking at this, and it looks amazing. You need to see it when it's night as well. I can unfortunately not adjust the sun as easily as in SE1, but just look forward to seeing this in the darkness and in the night. It looks fantastic. So with the smelter as well, we have some ports at the top, which I think will be for modules later down the line, which is pretty cool. So it looks like you can either have some power and efficiency and then maybe some speed modules. Then of course you have an access panel of the front that leads into the crafting menu. Now this thing does not seem to have its own inventory, but that... oh no, it does. It does, I was just accessing the wrong spot. So it has a 4-ton capacity on the input and the output, and for reference, your character inventory is 3.2 tons. So that will be good to know. And then obviously for ports, you have 3 large ports all around, and then you have a small port on the top, followed by a small port on the bottom. So plenty of conveyor access, and should you want to put this on a smaller grid ship, you absolutely can. It's not that big in size, which is pretty nice. Now, I will make a full video, a full-on preview on production, so stay tuned for that, but in this one I'm just going to be showing off the blocks. So you get a little sneak peek on what's to come. Now next is a big boy. This is the Fabricator. Now this thing, for comparison, that over there is a refinery. This over here is the Fabricator. It is massive. It's absolutely huge. Now we have the same sort of module slots as we did on the smelter. These ones are glowing yellow. Not sure if that means anything. But once again, with the panels and everything, and just the textures, it is absolutely amazing. And then the animations, I can't stop gushing over the animation. I mean, look at this. It is literally CNCing a cog. It's just fantastic. Obviously, you got the vents in there and the fucking reflections in the glass. It's just, oh, it is brilliant. And then on the back of it, I mean, just even this pattern is pretty cool. You could probably do something interesting with it. Kind of reminds me of a reactor in a way. Maybe there's a small little reactor inside this thing. Wouldn't surprise me given it's that massive. Now, as for conveyor ports, it has 2 in the front. It has 2 in the back on the same spot at the very ends. There's 2 on the top, kind of similarly positioned. There is 1 on either side. And then, last but not least, there are ports underneath, same as on the top. No small ports on this one. Does not surprise me. I expect if the normal components are this big, they're not fitting through a conveyor port that size. But moving on from the Fabricator, we have the Gear Forge, which, once again, more animations, and it's just a little sink, or is that where you put in the stuff? I'm not entirely sure, but just, it looks fantastic. I keep repeating myself, but I don't know what else to say. Just all the equipment and machinery. What is that, like a... Oh, that's like a bit set. Oh, that is cool. So different bit sizes, and then the clamps and everything. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, for the Gear Forge, you only have a large conveyor port, and I don't... Oh, no, you do have something underneath. Hang on. Yeah, you have 1 small port and 1 big port, and that is about it for conveying. And to be fair, this thing is quite slim. I mean, in comparison to this, it's tiny. But you can see here just from the form factor, if I pull out just a regular old block, you can see that it's quite thin. It's kind of similar in size to the SE1 lockers, but it's a bit thicker. So you should be able to fit this in a lot of different builds. Now, what you'll also be able to fit, I'm not sure if you can fit this specific thruster, but we got atmospheric thrusters, the entire set. We got the biggest one all the way down to the teeny tiny one. And once again, just the modeling. Like, the modeling in SE1 is absolutely fantastic, but in SE2 it's just gone up another step, and with the new lighting and everything, it just looks... I mean, the reflections in the bare metal, you just look at that. And what does it say here? High voltage power supply. I bet there is. I mean, this thing is massive. And then just the thrust plume in the... Oh, look at that. Huge copper coil. I mean, just look at that. That is like a proper turbofan engine. Or a turbine engine. Probably not turbofan. Even though that it has a big fan. I mean, just the... No, I'm upside down. There we go, now I'm the right way up. I mean, the glass and everything, it's just fantastic. And obviously, the same level of detail is carried over to the smaller ones. You can even see here just a spinning on the sides as well. Do we have that over here? No, that's unfortunately blocked off. But on these ones, you can actually see it spin around. And then we have the teeny tiny one, which even here, the level of detail is absolutely crisp, just with those little vents on the corners. It is just fantastic. And then, whilst we're still talking about thrusters, we got a huge hydrogen thruster. So now you have all the different sizes for all the different thrusters, which is really great to see. And just look at this thing. I go into... I can't go into it. But even so, just the paneling on the inside, screws and everything. Oh, it is brilliant. Now for this one, I keep pulling out my drill. For this one, you have conveyor ports on all 4 sides, like you'd expect from a hydrogen thruster of this size. And then on the bottom, on the underside, we can see we have 1 large port. No small ports on this one. Does not surprise me given the size. I don't think those small ports would actually be able to give enough hydrogen to this thing. And just the copper heat pipes and everything, just routing the heat away. I love this. I'm so looking forward to seeing what sort of builds we can come up with using these new blocks. Now let's go over to the other end to see another set of blocks, which are the batteries. Now the batteries are pretty neat because they're a bit different compared to normal. We can see here we have 4 different slots, and those are actually power module slots. So now these power modules, I suppose, is what will be giving you power, and you can take them out, put in new ones, and just sort of hot swap and recharge your battery that way, which is pretty cool. So if you have like a small grid battery like this one, and this power module is empty, you can just pull out one from a large battery and then just pop that into there. They're fully interchangeable, which is really cool. I mean, even this one, look at that. And of course, once again, just the... Oh, this one's taking some damage. Hang on. There we go. Problem solved. Anyway, just the detailing and everything. Oh, and it looks like there'll be... I'm presuming this might come later on, but we can see an actual power bar, which might show how full the battery is later down the line. Then we got some buttons and everything. Obviously, the control panel, where we can set it to auto charge and discharge, where you're used to, and a bunch of statistics on the side. Max capacity 4 megawatt hours, time until full. Yeah, so it is charging. Max input, max output. Oh yeah, what about the smaller one? Let's see, let's have a look here. 1 megawatt hour, okay, that's not bad. 1.6, yeah, in and out. Makes sense. And then a teeny tiny one. Does not have a control panel, unfortunately. And it's not a battery, it's a addery. That might have taken damage as well. Yep, it had. There we go. Battery. Actually, that might be something else to look at, the damage models and everything. So we'll do that in a bit, but first, we got barrels. So with this update, blocks are getting inventories, and so we are getting a barrel as well. Looks very different from the SE1 barrel. I mean, it's a lot more square, but it still looks absolutely excellent. This is the only barrel variant we get, but given that we have the unified grid system, we can just put all the barrels next to each other and make plenty of different stacks and whatnot. And of course, inside, does it not have... Hello? I would like to access your inventory. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so the barrel, as we can see, holds 400 kilograms. So you need a fair few barrels to store everything that you can hold in your inventory. But these barrels are small, cheap. You should be able to fit them basically anywhere, which is really cool to see. What's also cool is this drill. So now we got the huge drill, and we don't just have the small one. And the animations, once again, look absolutely crisp. The counter rotating, it is kind of hypnotic. The way it's just spinning around, it's brilliant. Just, you can see a little sticker passing by. I'm not sure if we can manage to read it. It's going too fast for me, at least. Just the detailing, and what are these for? Is that like to scoop? I'm not entirely sure what this is. It's clearly some port of some kind. Is that to scoop up the rocks and stuff? It might be. I mean, even here, just the cabling and everything is incredible. Now, for this drill, we have 2 small ports, one on either end, similarly to how it is in Space Engineers 1. And then we have, on this one, a big port on the bottom. So you have plenty of conveying opportunities, and now you have a way larger drill, so you'll be able to harvest those resources a lot more efficiently. And then, of course, we have the contracts terminal, which, once again, oh, look at that. It has a little reward hatch that you open up to get your rewards. Just overall, the paneling on the side, kind of like a privacy booth in a way, so that people can't see, people on terminals next to you can't see what contracts you're getting. Oh, and just the lighting, the indentation. So with the contracts terminal, you get one big port on the back, and then do we get a port underneath? Where am I? There I am. No port underneath, so you only have one large port that is on the back, which is still pretty nice. It is similar in size to the Gearforge, actually. Yeah, we can see the thickness here is pretty similar, But either way, once again, an absolutely fantastic looking blocks. Now that we've gone over all of the new blocks, let's have a look at some of the old ones that already existed but have now gotten added functionality. Like for instance, the reactors. The reactors now have full functionality, meaning that they will need uranium to function, and they also have inventories now, so you'll be able to actually fuel them up. Then the O2H2 generators have gotten functionality as well. They have inventories for ice, and they have the ability to process hydrogen. Not oxygen yet, but they will produce hydrogen for the hydrogen thrusters. Next up, you have the ore detectors. They have gotten added functionality as well. If we take a look in here, we can see that we can broadcast with antenna. The large one has a huge range of 350 meters, and you have a ore filter where you can actually choose what ore you want to look for, which is really cool to see, because right now you can see there's a lot of markers on my screen. So if I was just looking for copper, I could remove all the other markers and just look for copper. Really cool to see. Then the medical bay has gotten added functionality, being that you can now recharge, refuel, and everything at the bay, and also respawn, which is great to see. Solar panels have gotten added functionality as well, given that there is now a full-on power system, so now they will harness the power of the sun. Then we have the connector. The connector has gotten added functionality as well. We can see here we can eject items, and we can connect, disconnect, start alignment, stop alignment, and then of course used for parking. Then we also have the antenna. The antenna has gotten added functionality as well, alongside the conveyor system. Given we now have functioning inventories, the conveyor pipes do what they always do. They transport your items to and from, and it just, yeah, we now have the conveyor system fully functioning. Then cargo containers have also gotten added functionality. They now have inventories, and the same goes for lockers and crates and all storage mediums. Then the assembler and refinery have gotten added animations. We can see here just the internal here. Kind of reminds me of a 3D printer in a way. Just going back and forth, and then the refinery having gotten some animations as well, which is really cool to see. And last but not least, the hydrogen tanks have gotten functionality as well. Given that hydrogen now exists, you can now fill up your hydrogen tanks with hydrogen. This one's taking a bit of a dent. There we go. So you can fill that up, no problem. And I think that's going to be it for this one, but what if we ended on a bit of a destructive note and have a look and see what these blocks are going to look like as they get shredded to pieces? Okay, this one's a bit tough. What about you? Oh, look at that. Oh, there goes the panel. Oh, battery is gone. Oh, that thing just evaporated. Barrel's gone. The drill. Oh, it is being torn apart. No more contracts for you. Let's see. Oh, you're not gonna be flying anymore. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that thruster's broken. You're not using that. Oh yeah, look at that. It is being torn to pieces. On the large thruster. Oh, the chrome piece. Oh, now we can have a look inside. Oh, look at that. Poor thruster. Oh, and the gear forge. You're not making any new drills or welders now. Oh, look at this. How many hits is that thing gonna take? It is just tanking it. Oh yeah, it is all being torn apart. And I think with all this fire and destruction, I'm gonna leave that there. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to tune in to the dev stream on December 1st, 6 p.m. UTC, and get your hands on the update. And make sure to like and subscribe so that you can catch my next preview on all the production coming with Vertical Slice 2. And I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.